Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Saturday, February 25th, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. Yeah, today's been an interesting day. I was just sort of by chance online this morning, and I was going back and forth with an old friend of mine. Just we were sharing some old tracks that we had done, and I was listening to some of the old stuff that I've done, and man, it really took the wind out of my sails, guys. Like it really just made me feel like, man, this stuff sucks. Like it's never gonna be good. Oh man, and that just happens. It happens sometimes, and I really try not to go back and listen to old stuff that I've done because that's just a photograph of where I was basically, and I'm not that artist anymore. I mean, I am and I'm not. So trying to stay motivated, but honestly, like some days I just feel like giving up, and today's one of those days. I look back on my life and think like, oh, like what could I have accomplished? What could I have done in other arenas if I had taken all this time I invested into music and done that elsewhere? But let's say I do give up. I mean, it's a sunk cost now, and it was worth it to have the opportunity that I could do something really great with something that I really loved, that was exciting to me, that I was passionate about. And if it doesn't pan out, like, hey, sometimes we gamble in life, and it doesn't go the way that we want it to. It doesn't mean that it was a total loss or that we got nothing out of that experience. And like sometimes you don't realize how valuable those experiences were till you're sometimes 5, 10 years, 20, 30 years down the line, and you just realize like, oh wow, like I couldn't see how all the pieces fit together then, but I see them now. And I'm certainly hopeful that that's the case. You know, I'm feeling more inspired now that I'm kind of in the groove of my regular practice routine. But man, it's tough to deal with that stuff. And where I'm at right now is I'm gonna take my shot this year with this new record. And if that doesn't go the way that I want it to, then maybe I'll just reevaluate how much time and energy I'm investing in this, and maybe I'll just keep investing in it and just do it for fun without the expectation that it's going to pay off at some point financially, which is fine. But in the meantime, I do want to at least give myself the opportunity to do that, promote my music a little bit, and just see if it resonates with people. In a way, like once the music is done, my opinion on it is the least important opinion. I mean, my opinion while I'm working on it is the maybe the only opinion that matters. But after that, after I've sort of put the finishing touches on it and I feel like it's complete, then I need to be less selfish, and put it out there. And if people love it, then great. And if they don't, then whatever, that's fine. I've paid the price to have the certainty in my life of like, okay, that wasn't gonna, like, I put everything I could into that, everything I was going to into that, and like it just didn't. I'm not willing to just hammer away for the rest of my life on it just for the opportunity that it could succeed. And maybe I'll feel differently tomorrow or the next day or something like that. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. And what I really want to do with this channel is just keep it real and just really open up to you guys about the day in, day out life of what it's like, being a musician, and just trying to be successful on a lot of different fronts. Trying to be successful artistically, get my ideas out faithfully, trying to improve every day, and trying to find a way to integrate, you know, make it part of my lifestyle in a way that's sustainable. And I feel like the way that my best shot at getting to like the upper echelon of players is like to turn professional at some point and do music full time, which I'm not necessarily doing right now. I mean, I'm pretty close. I've had jobs over the last few years that have supported me spending a lot of more time on music than I would have if I were working, a traditional job like 40, 60, 80 hours a week, like my friends do and a lot of people I know do. And maybe I'll go back to that lifestyle at some point. Just kind of be a regular person, or I don't know if that's the right way of saying that, but just find a way to express myself and excel in other arenas that maybe I'm a little more naturally suited to or something. I mean, I don't know. But it's just funny coming off a day like yesterday where I was so inspired and felt like, yes, let's make this happen, and then today it's kind of just like, fuck, like let's just give up. And like I said, I think I'm just gonna take this year. I'm gonna go as far as I can with the time I have. Really do a great job with this recording process, and and then just live with the results. If I decide I want to keep going after that, or if I decide I want to move on, then that's fine. And I'll still be relatively young. I mean, not not super young, but definitely plenty of time to get back to an old career or start a new career or do whatever I want to do. So yeah, I mean, it's I feel vulnerable. I feel embarrassed sometimes that I feel this way, and it's not necessarily something that I always feel like sharing publicly. But I think this is really what it's like, unless you're just so good automatically and successful from the beginning. And yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just gonna stick to my plan today. I'm gonna do a little bit of online classwork, keep that pretty short. I was planning to keep today's practice test session pretty short. I just wanted to dip into the musical zone a little bit today, and then just kind of take a rest day and just focus on some other things. I've got plenty of other things to take care of in my life. Um, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if that's like a long-term strategy for me on a Saturday, but I think today it's the right move. So I'm going to do a little bit of drum practice, online classwork, and then I think I might just leave the track where it is for today. I don't think I'm going to do anything on that because I just want to take a little breather, come at it with a fresh perspective next week. But I'll let you guys know what I decide, and let's get into it. All right. You know what? Good session. I'm really happy I stuck with that. And what's funny is, I was gonna cut the session short today, and I just didn't. I just didn't. I wanted to put that time in. It's way more important for me to put time in on the music front and in the studio and be this person who I want to be than it is to mess around with other stuff. So, the other commitments I have in life, they're just gonna have to wait. And this is what I'm doing. And what as I started playing the drums and getting into my routine, I just realized like this is who I am. And sometimes it's difficult to be honest with ourselves about that because we don't always like the truth hurts sometimes. And whether I'm going to be successful at this or not is not really the point. It's not really even the consideration at hand. Like I'm doing this. This is what's happening in my life. Like I am just doing this. This is who I am as a person now, and I'm going to be successful. Like I'm just going to keep working on it until it happens. And just because my past records haven't been that way or they didn't turn out the way I wanted them to, I'll learn from those mistakes and I'll be better the next time. And what really came to me is, so right now I do test prep classes to support myself playing music and getting this part of my career off the ground and just growing as an artist because this is part of the conversation. What I'm talking about right now is like if I don't put that time in every day, like I just don't feel right. I just don't feel like I'm doing like I feel like my life doesn't have any point to it. Like I'm just going to work and clocking in and saving money, and it's like what's that for? Like what's the point of that? The point is so I can do this. Which is crazy. I mean, it's I guess love. What's the saying? Only a fool looks for reason in matters of the heart, guys. Um, it's just you try to be as rational as you want. Like life isn't 100% rational, sadly. Not that there isn't a place for rational thought or analysis or data or any of that stuff. There is, but at the end of the day, like for me, for my life, it's more than that. So. But what I was saying before is I'm getting kind of distracted. There's like so much going on inside me right now, guys. But what I was saying is, um, yeah, this is who I am now. It's a part of who I am. This is who I am. This is my life. This is what I'm doing, and this is my identity. And I'm gonna do that. So I better find a way to do the other stuff I want to do with my life in conjunction with this, because I'm not going to feel right on a day in, day out basis if I'm not putting in a lot of time into this. So that's why, my job. So I teach GMAT classes. The GMAT is the standardized test you take to go to business school, and I love my work doing what I do with people there, and it affords me this amazing opportunity to have such a balanced lifestyle where, I get to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day on music sometimes, just working on my passion, doing what I love, and also support myself financially. Now, I'm probably not going to get rich teaching GMAT classes. I mean, I save money, I do my homework, I invest smartly, and long term, that might pay off in a big way. But mostly the reason I do that is so that I can live my life the way I want to live it now. Not just like, when I retire, I'll do music, something like that. And when I was studying for the test to get that job, I needed a really, really high score on that test to get the job. And the first 3 times I took the test, my score went down every time, and I really wanted to give up. And I was like, shoot, maybe this isn't going to happen. Maybe this just isn't the right path, whatever. Just BSing myself instead of taking responsibility for making the changes that need to happen in order to get the right results. Like if your current actions and your current inputs aren't leading to the outputs you want, then that's your problem. Like you have to fix that. You have to look at why that's not working and make changes. And I realized that's exactly what I'm doing in my musical practice, guys. I'm going through some big changes right now. I'm producing this record in a completely different way than I've done the past ones. And if this one sucks, then you know what? The next one's going to be the one, and if it's not that one, it's going to be the one after that. And as long as I don't give up, then I'm going to get there. I'm going to hit my goal. So it's scary to be honest with ourselves about that, because it puts the ball in our court, and it means that we really are the ones who are responsible for our own success. And there's a part of us that like just kind of wants to be like, it's not meant to be or something, and just like have a cop out, which is like a really weird thing about being human, how we often resist like our deepest desires. But regardless of the outcome of this, guys, like I'm committed to the process, and I'm doing that, and I don't even want to think about the results anymore. Honestly, I just want to get my work done and do it while I'm here, and so that's what I'm gonna do. So I think I'm gonna end the session there because I've spent long enough on this today. I may do some more work on the production front and stuff like that later, but I'll update you guys if I do that. For now, I think today was a big enough victory. Just sort of looking at the dire straits of the situation and then kind of pulling myself back out of that. But it was a really deep and beautiful moment for me to realize, like, I'm just going to put in this time. Like, this is just what I want to do with my life. And that's a beautiful thing, to just commit to something for the sake of committing to it, honestly. And I'm excited. So hope you guys are out there doing well. I hope you're not struggling as much as I am today. And I hope you guys are out there grinding towards your vision, and just stay inspired, guys. Feed your inspiration, man. Don't give up, and believe in yourself. Sometimes you gotta lie to yourself, fake it till you make it, but at the end of the day, like, you can't be anyone but you, so you might as well own up to it and just do that. That's my advice, for what it's worth, guys. So, on that note, I'm off tomorrow, and I'll pick things up with you guys on Monday. Until then, have a great rest of the weekend, guys.